pretty good. Isn't it?
Finally opening up with Baltimore, finally.
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore's been winning also. That's a problem. I believe it's 3 games going
Like
into
seeing
tonight.
Baltimore win after all these years.
I'd rather see the Russians win.
Oh, my.
Wow.
I was told that at Marina many years ago by a Tangerman that
And now
It hates the
everybody online
Yankees.
knows your feelings.
Not saying you're in comments.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No,
You just don't like Baltimore.
that's right.
No, that seems like a puppy.
Well,
You know, they've been
when you've been
down
a-
for so long.
When you've been a Yankee fan since you were 6, you're taught to hate the Senators and the Orioles.
I was gonna say, I'm a Senators fan. so
Good luck. Well, you're in
I'm
good
out of the
shape.
run.
No, you're in good shape.
Like Red Sox.
Oh, no. Spare me.
I'm a lowly Mets fan.
Nothing wrong with the
So
Mets.
Matt, I like this map. Does it
Do
come?
you?
Yeah, does it come with a
Well, T.
key?
Lee, you've
so
been
that we know
following
the colors?
baseball that long. You know Ralph Kiner, don't you?
Does, I didn't.
No?
print it.
From back in the 50s, he
Oh.
was a prolific home run hitter for the Pirates.
No.
And we used to be
I can
the announcer
describe
for
them to you if you'd
for
like.
the Mets. And I lived right next
Well, let
door
me see.
Really?
when I was a kid.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that White
I
is
used to-
residential.
I used to go over to
The
his
white is
house
our one out.
each day and talk baseball with him, and he would take me into games.
Ooh.
And at that time, I didn't
That
need a ticket,
light
I just
blue
go in with Ralph,
is-
so we were.
That's
an
neat.
hour early.
And
And
what's,
he'd be
what
like,
is
all right,
one?
run around the stadium, but be back here.
It's
for- he did a
smaller
wrap-up
lots,
show
smaller
afterwards.
setbacks.
Okay.
Interview the players
And
of the
then
game,
darker
and then
blue is.
it'd be over.
Oh.
So I'd go and hang out at the studio and watch that, and then
And then really dark
We go
blue
home.
is.
That's neat.
apartments.
I bet you got some great autographs.
you know, he helped me get a bunch of them. When he was inducted to the Hall of Fame, he invited my
Blue
family,
checker.
and so we got to stay in the
Is-
Cooperstown
I know what
Hotel.
that is.
Oh, yeah.
Shirt shoes, you got that one, but it's also.
We
Some
took-
churches
Whoa,
do
that's
that.
something when you're a kid. No, unless they were Yanks, I would know them, early 50s.
He was a pirate,
What's
Uh-huh.
that?
and
So those two linked together
for a
for.
10-year period,
Well,
he was
I
as
couldn't, I
prolific
didn't
a
want to
home run
dedicate
hitter
all of that. for
until we got to Barry Bonds.
Some red polka dots.
How about,
B&Bs.
Babe Ruth?
And
about-
for a 10-year period, he was
Red
there with
is governmental
50 home
buildings.
runs most years.
How do you stack up with,
But it was a short career, he had a bad back, and so
Oh.
he didn't go beyond the 10 years.
And when you.
Aaron Judge? Probably.
Oh, yeah, these guys are now hitting 60,
Oh.
right? But in the 50s, nobody was hitting.
Is that all drug related or are they just better?
No, no, no. I know.
I'd like to think the Judge and these guys are just better.
Barry Bonds.
6 o'clock, Mr. Chairman.
Can we call this meeting to order? Debbie, would you take roll, please?
Here.
Present.
Here.
Commissioner Fry,
Here.
Commissioner Huntsell,
Here.
Chairperson Shriver.
Here. Very good. Minutes were in your packets. Anybody see anything that needs revision?
Yeah. Number 3, you have Commissioner Byrd moving to approve the minutes and
Oh,
then
I saw
Commissioner
that.
Byrd seconding the minutes. The motion.
I believe that was Bird and Bagwell.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but
It was second Bagwell.
Okay,
Thank you.
then 2638, there's a typo.
Where's that?
Are you, you're beyond the minutes now, or?
You're saying section 26.
Yeah, it's like the last 3 words in 2638.
okay, but
not part of the minute.
that's not the minutes.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's,
That was
just
it.
the minutes. So that
was it
takes
on
care of
the
the minutes. Okay, anybody want to make a motion to approve them?
So move.
A
Second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So moving to public comments. Any public comments? No public comments. Got warm and everybody wanted to be outside. So, very good. Then moving on to item 5 is the final review of the parking ordinance. So this is a document that we have been working on for seemingly months now. And I do believe this incorporates all the changes that we were looking for. Matt, this most recent one, the change was primarily for the 3 hours, correct? Instead of
Right.
2 hours?
It still says 2 hours.
The last three words, 2638. I think it should be as
It-
intended.
Or as it is intended or
Supposed
something
to
like
be
that.
3 hours. Yeah, and suppose it still wasn't changed. Am I correct?
As intended. I think you just take the it out. As
Yeah, I
intended.
agree.
what about the 2 versus 3 hours?
Yeah, it's still there. It still says 2 hours.
I thought I saw.
Show me
Let's
where,
see.
because I know I changed it.
I swear I think I saw.
2642A,
Uh-huh.
limitation of parking to 2 hours in this downtown district.
That's
It says 3 hours below that,
It
but
says 3 hours below it, so. where
I saw that when I was reading it, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I
where
was gonna
saw
say, I
it.
swore I saw 3,
I guess
but yours, I saw, yep.
Just saw it.
Tell me, can we, how do you all feel about, and Matt,
Sorry, I'm
you
still
too,
not seeing where it says two.
on
section,
A.
section
A.
26-42,
Oh, there it
A.
is, the heading.
Yeah,
Right here.
All right.
Matt, are we able to approve them subject to that change, so we don't have to
That's
bring
all
it
you
back
have to do is
again?
Make a motion to approve them as
Supposed to
amended.
have been 3
Okay.
hours.
Anybody good, everybody good with that? Yeah, you all
No,
good with
with
that?
those changes, I got no issue.
With those changes, okay.
That's correct.
So, does anybody want to make a motion to approve this ordinance?
So moved.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
So there is.
I think we're talked out on this.
I think that
No.
horse is
Yeah.
dead.
Just want to make sure we're following Robert's rules. Very good. Then all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, so that moves to the
Please.
town council,
The completed pile.
and they will now take that issue on.
And my intention is to put that into the June 24th agenda. And if you keep in mind, just as a reminder, June 24th is a joint. public
Thought so.
hearing
For that?
For this, for the change in zoning for Jack's property and for removing that one off-street parking ordinance, Article
Correct.
12, that didn't fit into anything.
Jack's property, you mean
Jack's
Jeff's property?
Yes, the old, the former.
Oh, Jack Richardson's property. Okay.
What time is that?
I
7
don't know.
o'clock.
I don't know. But
Residential.
it's a coun- it's
All right.
part of a council
What
meeting,
time
so
is
they
the
start at
June
7.
24th meeting?
7.
Can everybody make that meeting?
I can make it.
I
Should be
can make it
able to.
as of this moment.
I think so.
Okay,
My bride-
I will not be able to make it.
we have to have a quorum,
You folks have to have a form, as does obviously the council.
right? And a quorum is a simple majority, correct? Okay, so how many do we have? 4?
I think you're right.
You've got 5 that just committed.
Okay, I can be there. Sounds good.
Aren't we 7?
Yes.
5, 6.
Suppose
and
of it,
missing.
I'm.
cannot.
be On vacation.
I mean, aren't we a total of 7?
Brandon's missing tonight.
Right. So 4 is correct.
You
then.
should cancel
I
it.
think
for the
we're
good of
already
the town.
committed. unless something
Dana
over
will
there.
love it.
Yeah.
He can't.
Okay, so it sounds like we're
I'm looking
good.
forward to
Sorry
this
about
one,
that. I
really.
needed to get in my phone. I didn't have that.
I can
Is
dial
there
in
really
if
more than
necessary.
Larry can?
Larry can, I can, and those two can. So assuming everything stays that way, we're good. And if need be, then we can ask people to call in to it and participate through Zoom, correct? So should be
true?
good. Okay. Well, while we're on meetings, we're scheduled for July 1st. Is that correct?
Calendar, but, you know,
That's gonna
That would be
a
the
rough-
first Monday. I'm not in town. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there and
Go on.
say, if we're going to do something or not? Obviously, you all are welcome to meet without me.
I can't do it. Sorry.
2 down. 3 down.
It's gone belly up.
Well, it could still, you know,
I'll be here.
you'll be here.
Yeah.
Larry, you'll be here?
Yeah.
Bill,
I
you'll
think
be
I
here.
will, but you know, that's a long way away.
That is.
Mhm.
And it's
Well, that's
like the July 4th.
3 and Brandon makes 4. So,
Yeah, I wouldn't count on Brandon, so you've got 3. I would cancel the meeting.
we can cancel the meeting or we can reschedule it, whatever you would
Well,
prefer.
I don't know. that
There's no pressing business that I'm aware of.
Well, not that I'm aware of either, but these things tend to pop up.
Yes, they
I have a
do.
feeling this is gonna probably create some swirl.
I don't think so. Just, you know,
Well, that one's going to take a little time too. They've got to have a plan if they're going to come to us, aren't they?
yeah,
I mean, so,
there's gonna be, and also there's other land that is option, that's in the county that,
right.
yeah, so.
Okay. So we're going to just plan no July
Yeah, I
meeting.
wanted to just update you on the conversation that I had. There's no decision required, no
Right.
action necessary. I just wanted to let you know that somebody came in and chatted with me about a proposal.
Yeah,
And he
okay.
talked to the landowner and, you know,
All right. Well, we'll get back on agenda.
Yeah.
Sorry that I mixed
No,
it in,
that's
but
fine.
I was thinking about it. I wanted to make sure to discuss it. So no July meeting. Okay.
meeting. I'll make
Very
sure I
good.
Put that on the calendar and notify everybody.
Okay. So then, number 6 on our agenda is to review the special use permit ordinance. And,
Yeah, let me apologize for that one because I hit, anybody that uses Word knows that with the red underline and underscore, I hit accept before I hit save and it just, you know, it did exactly what I told it to do. And so I've got the old, the current, I'm sorry, ordinance and then the proposed ordinance there. I can walk through, I went through this afternoon, and other than some grammatical changes that I made throughout, the substantive changes are on page 2 of 3. In item 5 at the top, it said the special use permit ceases entirely when the property changes ownership, whether by formal sale or transfer between taxable entities. For short-term rental, the permit expires 36 months after the date of issuance. That's in the current one, but the death of the permit at the time of property transfer, I don't believe was as clearly stated as it could be, so I think that tightens that up. I went through and did some research on best practices for review standards, which is the section 38,499. And number 3, I changed to say that the proposed use would be in alignment with the comp plan.
Mhm.
Then the number 4, I combined with the old number 5, just to say that it's a structure that it would maintain the character of the community in which it's districted. And then so that's pretty much maintaining that and establishing the pattern inside the district that it sits. And then environmental impact is one that we had not had before. And given where we are and who we are, I think it's important that our permits don't, at least they need to consider the impact of the environment. So that's the extent of that. And then at the end, I added 3 full sections. One is if council denies the permit, what is the appeal process?
So that's penalties and revocation?
No,
That's
that's appeal process.
above it.
Ah,
Okay. Then penalties and revocation, one of the things that I'm going to be adding to probably all of our new ordinances is what are the teeth or what are the penalties for not complying? And that's one of the things that our current ordinances are woefully missing, and they don't even reference a fee table at the beginning. So I wanted to make sure that this passed muster, and it's the same language we used on the unlawful property management with the grass and the, the condition of homes.
Mhm.
So it's the same language there, and that's passed through the attorney already. And then the last is severability, which basically just says if there's anything in this ordinance that is incorrect or unlawful, it doesn't
Cancel the
negate
whole,
the
yeah.
rest of the ordinances.
Okay.
Matt, when I was reading penalties and revocation, it was unclear to me what the notice was going to be. So if it's non-compliance, I think maybe just some sort of statement of what would constitute the necessity for a notice,
Well, it's the necessity for a notice or the notice itself.
the necessity for a notice.
Okay, so I guess I should put in there for any non-compliance with this ordinance.
Yeah,
That sentence.
yeah, it's something like that. I mean,
Okay.
you talked about the section before, that no deviations, expansions, or other changes can be made without express written consent of council. But just kind of going into that, it wasn't clear
Okay.
what that was.
So
Unless-
I can add a
Yeah.
sentence there. I mean,
Just,
again, this one, there's nothing on fire, so we can take our
Mhm.
time and go through this carefully.
Like the grass and so forth, first time you hanging something, how's that work?
There's no more first times. We had the property behind Market Street Grill.
Right.
The owner wasn't local. Yes. So I wrote a letter to them up in Jersey. She called me. They had it mown the next day.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine. If somebody's local and I don't want to wait for the mail, I can put a door hanger on, and just basically leave a note. The second time is when I'll write a letter that includes the penalties for not complying.
You cut Colonial Manor?
How you doing, T. Lee? The neighbor paid the rate that we assign for penalties for not cutting your grass. So the neighbor paid the full town rate. So we say, if you don't cut your grass, we're gonna make sure it gets cut, and we're gonna charge you $50 an hour to do that. The neighbor paid the $50 an hour for us to cut the grass. I don't know what's gonna happen next time.
We'll see. Yeah, good job.
I also have a question on page 1, 38-497 procedure number 1. It's the second sentence says such application shall met accompanied by. I don't know what that means. Shall meet something or such application shall met.
Is this under 38-497?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Item
Number
1,
one.
sentence 2.
Yeah, number 1,
All right.
second
I
sentence.
will clean that. I'll clean that up.
Okay. Yeah, what word should be there? I thought, Matt, overall, it was much clearer and easier to understand and kind of covered all the details that, we needed in there. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything they want to add to this? No. So the idea is that we're going to see a clean copy in August, and then we'll vote on it at that point. And then the town council can do what it wants.
Council will review it and most likely have a joint public hearing.
Okay. That joint public hearing would be September.
That's good.
Okay. Have to look at a calendar to see when Labor Day is.
Actually,
So-
probably will this-
Yeah, you'll probably not have it in September.
Okay.
Is it the 3rd?
Labor Day is Monday, the 2nd.
Now then,
Would
yeah.
be the first Monday.
Okay.
So that meeting is as well.
But it's not so pressing that is a problem. Okay. Very good.
I don't have any permit applications on my desk, and I don't know of anybody that's been asking questions about them.
Okay. Matt, you don't have it on the agenda, but we have a little information here about the tiny house community. You want to walk us through this?
Sure. Kirk Salvo came into my office literally a couple days ago and asked if we would consider workforce housing in town. And I said, talk with me about what you mean by workforce housing. And he said, basically, there are 525 to 600 square foot little homes. They would be clustered. There would be community centers, possibly with gyms and where the mail is delivered. And, there'd be public grills and things like that, but they would be for basically first line professionals that can't afford to either rent or own anywhere else on the shore. So it'd be, teachers, new police officers, nurses, that type of level. We haven't talked about what the price would be, but what we did talk about very, very clearly was a little house on our minimum lot size. He would never be able to do it. So I went through and if you look at the maps, the second page of maps has pink X's on them. Those are the parcels that are all owned by one person, and those are the parcels that he is interested in. He spoke to the owner. The owner said that he had a couple of other people that were also interested in. I haven't heard anything from them because I believe that these are going to need to be subdivided. Clearly, they're going to need to be subdivided. So those are the parcels that single person owns. Access would come up through Waples and Marshall. Just so you know, the 2 points of access of egress. But the last page is where my math comes in. There are 18 acres right there, and he's looking to put 10 little homes on each acre. An acre is 43,560 feet, so they would fit easily. So I did the math and said, give me 43,560 feet with a 20 by 30 footprint with 20-foot setbacks, which is more than R1B requires. It would fit between 21 and 30, depending on how they were facing. So he wanted to put 10 per lot, per acre, and that would be half of what would fit with a 20-foot setback. We would have to put a new zoning district together, call it workforce housing. I don't really care what you call it. Then you'd have to change the setbacks, and you can expand the setbacks, but you also have to reduce the frontage requirement. Currently, we require 50 or 75 feet, depending on the district, of facing a public road. So we would have to change a couple of things here. We'd have to add a zoning district. We'd have to change setbacks. We'd have to reduce the minimum lot size, and we'd have to adjust the frontage requirement. That's a heavy lift. So, and I told him as much, but, he says, look, this is what we do. So, he also was told by the owner there that he owns a parcel over near the airport that might also work. So, that's sort of where that is. I would,
With all that math, did you factor in the communal space that he talks about? Because there's swimming pools and.
Yeah, I did. And that's where if he wants to put 10 per acre and we can fit 25 per acre, he would have plenty of room for communal space, or he doesn't use all 18 acres as for homes.
Mhm.
Did you factor in the increase in traffic through there? Which those streets are just narrow streets.
This one, I haven't done all the planning on because it simply doesn't, I mean, if you're gonna do a subdivision according to our subdivision plan, you have to do roads, you have to do water, you have to
That
do
was
sidewalks, you have to do lights, you have to do all of that. And on a tiny home, I don't care how many of them you throw in there, you're never gonna get that infrastructure money back.
I mean, will
So,
all utilities even support that? Water and sewage?
yeah, that one's no problem.
So he says this is what they do. Did he provide any other examples?
No, and I asked him for sort of an image of what he was thinking, and he said, I haven't done a concept plan because I haven't talked to the owner, and, if the land isn't available, then why pay an architect to do a mock-up?
Sure.
So,
But if they've done it before, I'm thinking
show me a picture of what you've done before.
Right.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, this was maybe a 15-minute conversation, so it's preliminary is kind. But I just wanted to let you know that there's
Did-
somebody sniffing around over there.
Did he happen to mention where in Temperanceville? I can't place it. Did he mention
I don't
where?
think this was his.
I just found that on Google.
Oh, you.
I looked
I'm
him up
sorry.
and he's got a lot in Temperanceville that it looks like it's probably got the same idea. It's smaller.
Is it big enough to handle a number of houses like this?
No, it's smaller.
And with the tax overlay in town, the cost of water, I know water and sewer is a big deal, but, running up and down 13 all the way from Nassawattix up here, that airport has water and sewer. Then they're obviously not gonna get the tax overlay benefit of an ANCOG. So, and our water's, more expensive than theirs. Same rate for sewer, but
Are you looking for anything other than just giving us, so we don't need to make comment, we
You don't
just,
have to- I mean, you can talk about it all you want, but I just wanted you to know that conversation was held. I don't see it going very far.
Mhm.
But, I've been wrong before. I do it all the time.
We all have, but is this what our town wants?
You're asking the question?
Just asking myself, honestly. Tiny houses, I don't know.
Well, the houses, just to give you a sample, the houses over on Johnson and Jefferson are around 1,400 square feet. So these would be kindly saying half of that size. So, and they are going to be stick built. They'll be on piers. They'll be skirted, so you won't have to look at the piers. So, as far as whether or not we want to do it, the county had a study done where there's 1,000 houses shortfall. This would obviously help that. My worry is that these are small, I'm gonna say, more inexpensive homes. And it would be very close to a troubled area. So I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it in town. I'd feel great about it at the airport.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
I really would. I
Mhm.
think that's a great spot for it. It's got sewer, it's got water, it's got access.
Wonder where that is. Did he mention it? Is it county, the one the county was gonna buy to put the water and sewer treatment facility in if we didn't cave 4 years ago?
I don't know. I mean, I can dig around down by the airport because we know who owns it. He told them.
I know who tended the land, but when we got into that week after week, it was pretty bad. There was a 34-acre piece back behind to the west of the airport that the county had a professional come in and say, I can do this very easily and just take it over and the county will send you nothing. And we caved somewhat. That was fun. We enjoyed it very much. It might be the same farm. I think now David Evans' son, Jim Evans, I think tends it, but I don't remember who owns it.
You know, just curiously, the houses that are recently, or one's been constructed anyway over on, what is that? It's Hill Street.
Oh, Hill Street.
Yeah.
Got it.
Do you know how big those are?
I don't on Hill.
Yeah.
No, because that's outside our
Right.
jurisdiction.
Right, I was just curious.
What I can say is the builder that did those are the same builder that did Marshall Street. The three, I'm sorry, two of the three on Marshall Street.
Okay.
So if you're tooling down Kerr, hang
Mhm.
left, it's the two closest to Waples.
Hmm. Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah.
You would,
And they're
Given
they're
the
small too. They're small.
Mhm.
They're like 1,100 square feet,
okay,
yeah.
very good. Anybody else want to ask any further questions or make comments about this? Okay,
Thank you for bringing it to our attention. It's
Sure thing.
interesting, even if it's a long ways out.
Yeah.
so then we're on to item number 7. Anybody have commissioner comments to make?
Comments?
All's quiet. All right. Guess it's time for item number 8. Would anybody like to make a motion? T.
Motion to
Lee,
adjourn.
Second.
Larry, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Aye.
short and sweet.
All right.
I feel you. How do you feel on this?